welcome to another Kerbal space exploration episode. And as you can see by the flag, I've upgraded the save file to 020 now, so we get to play with all the new parts and play with flags. So we planted a flag here at this flat area, and there's nothing very specific about this place except that it's flat. And if we read the flag, it says, "This is the place Storm Kerbal found to build Mun Base One," or well, found for the Mun Base One to be built. Can't even read my own writing. And it's about 3.6 kilometers away from the Kethane base. Now I could have had it closer, but there was this hill in the way, and I want it to be more than 2.5 kilometers so we don't get any lag from the bases. So yeah, this episode will be bringing the bases here to the moon. So yes, this is our main base compartment. It has three... Whoops, wait a second. It has 3 living quarters and a command module in front, the new one, which I don't remember the name of right now. And we have these landing tanks and some docking nodes on the back. So the docking nodes on the back are for the rest of the station to be connected to. Command module gives a great viewing experience as you drive around and gives the Kerbals the control areas. So we are going to connect 2 units today, or we're going to land 2 units, this main one, and connect what I call the aft part, which will be about it for this episode. After that, we are also going to send the new and improved Kethane tanker to the moon. I don't know what happened with the old fuel or the fuel tank, but it is gone anyway. So yeah, I don't remember what happened to it. I think it disappeared in some of the changes between versions and everything. So yeah, we are going to use some extra fuel to get this to go to the moon at the same time. Because we have plenty of fuel, there's no point of us bringing all this fuel all the way over there. Though we are going to use some of this fuel to refill the moon station, which I now renamed the Artemis station, because that's I think the Greek god for hunting, the huntress. And there's also the character of Artemis Foulbooks, which I sort of like, or I actually do like. But yeah, so I think for a base orbiting the planet we are hunting Kethane over, it's a great name to have on it. And then here is our living short, I called it, but it's the aft part. And yeah, that's about what we're going to cover in this episode. So hopefully everything works out fine. So I built this new fuel truck, and it's quite a lot bigger than the old one. And we have these small engines, so I'm not sure if it's going to work. But I'm hoping that the gravity on the moon is low enough that it will work. If it doesn't, we have to empty a fuel tank probably. But yeah. So let's see if we can get a moon encounter. Let's just let's prograde. We'll probably have to waste some extra fuel to get there, but that doesn't matter because we have plenty of fuel. Yes, there we get our encounter with the moon. So let's get it the right direction if we can. That is counterclockwise. So yeah, how are we going to fix that? Because going the other way, it wasn't a lot of room, but let's try going back a little bit to see. So yeah, I'm not going to talk about all the parts in 020. There's a lot of new parts, but there is the great new database system, which gives you the possibility of reloading mods This has given me a little bit of trouble loading all the new, I can seriously not say that sentence. It has given me some trouble bringing all the mods from the save over to the new one. But after some looking around and finding the right patch fixes for different mods, I've got most of the mods fixed. Now there's some changes I had to do, like remove a couple of things on the space station, but there's just a small, like the crew list, it's now a tab up here instead of a part, so I had to get rid of that part on everything. And yeah, there's just been a lot of small things that had to be changed, but I do love the new command module, and also the new docking ports, the big one, because I think that will make space stations a lot more rigid and hopefully not wobble about. Now, I haven't tried to build a space station with the big docking ports yet. I haven't had the time or idea of a space station to build, really. Instead, I built a Mun base because that was what we needed. But you can see that all the base units has wheels, and that will give us the flexibility and movability to drive around and relocate if we need to in the future, if the Kethane deposit runs dry or anything. So yeah, that's all good. So let's bring this last one to the moon. Oh, I forgot to put a Kerbal time on that Kethane fuel truck, but they are pretty close, so we'll just follow them both. Oh, I cannot talk today. I've been practicing for my exams, which I probably am going to have finished when this episode is uploaded anyway. But yeah, it's an oral exam, and been practicing my lines like over and over and over again. But yeah, what just happened now? Okay, so for some reason it's spinning out of control. Who knows why, but let's try to bring it back. So yeah, this small stage here uses the new skipper engine, which is a small version of the mainsail, and I think it's great. It has plenty of uses for, like, well, going into interplanetary space, as I'm apparently doing right now. But yeah, it is it's a great second stage engine, because there's been a gap there quite a long while, like between the first stage and the second stage, with something to push up into space before you do your orbital maneuvers. But this should fix that hole, or yeah, that long-awaited engine. Cannot talk and play today. I'm apparently more tired or exhausted from reading today than I actually thought. I thought this episode would be easy to make today, since I hadn't done too much stuff, just practiced what I was going to say, or what I was going to ramble about on my exam. But yeah, getting our periapps at the moon too. There we go. Let's remember to add a watch on this, and let's move back to the base. Now, I love the new map with, like, the information. You can see the Kerbals. You can switch back and forth between the different crafts. So yeah, this is the new command module, and I built it to look like kind of a car. Headlamps, and then there's some light showing you the way on top, and the other units have some stairways to get up, but the main unit doesn't. And there's also a small platform, so you can walk between the different different modules or units. And if we go inside, this is the new command module, and it looks really great. And when driving around, this is just a great place to drive. So if you're making like a big rover where you want to have a place to steer, that command module looks absolutely great for doing that. I think it's really cool when you drive around inside that. I took it for a test drive, and it was absolutely just the best command module, in my opinion at least, for doing rovers like this. And alarm, yay! So yeah, first alarm going off, entering its atmosphere. Ooh, no, not its atmosphere, sorry, its sphere of influence. Yeah, so apparently we have to switch over to this and do the braking burn on our first unit, actually, or the last one we pushed. Let's see, switch to the right one. I said delete, so yeah, delete. Let's do it manually, since it won't do it automatically, or I might be pressing something wrong. So yeah, we're coming in a bit inclined here, but that should be fine. Using the engines just to straighten out, and full power. And the skipper engine has a really great weight to thrust and efficiency ratio, I think. So it's a really, for like this use, it's really great. I've used it for some of my test crafts for this right now, and it's worked pretty great. So I think we can flatten this out before the main unit arrives. So let's just try that. That will be 180 degrees. That's this way. I have to watch the monopropellant. We want to have enough to land, because we need some of it when landing to have extra controllability over the craft. So yeah, that looks good. Let's switch back to the main unit again. There we go, and it still has plenty of fuel, great. So this has a pretty low orbit, and I hope we can get this all in the first day, like land the first craft before it's nightfall at least. But yeah, let's go for a retrograde burn, RCS on. Oh, I have to get something to drink. Oh, there we go. So yeah, I have I usually don't react too much on this time of year, but this time of year has been a lot of pollen in the air, and I had I think it's hay fever it's called in English. Yeah, at least an allergic reaction to it, so I'm pretty tired, and like my eyes are itching and everything. So yay, that's been great. Let's see, let's go back to this and put an alarm on it, so we're sure that we won't miss it. Let's see, add sphere of influence. There we go, and let's go back to base main. Now this really makes things more efficient, being able to jump between crafts like this. You can already see it getting a lot more efficient. So let's go for a landing, shall we? Let's quick save and go for a landing. Oh yes, there we go. And another great thing I discovered is that if you put your mouse up here, you get the options to see just flags or just EVAs, or yeah, you can choose what you want to see. And we want to land by this flag, So after we done this, it looks like we need to do some small changes to our orbit, because we need to go lower, a lot lower actually. So let's point here so we can bring it a little bit back up again. Not all the way. This is a heavy craft. It's really long and heavy, and it just has that small command module to give it SAS thrust, so it's like screaming at me, please, please be gentle, be kind, I can't do this. So yeah, there we go. Now we're crossing paths, I think. There. Quick save again, and let's fly down. I think this craft looks like oh, we have to get the craft back on the map. There we go. I think this craft looks like the research vessel in Jurassic Park once you connect the end trailer to it, because it kind of has like the two wheels and on the back and front and everything. Yeah, it looks, it just reminds me of the Jurassic Park truck, which they lose outside a cliff in the second movie. So yeah, getting it into position and fixing the camera, because that was annoying. Prepare for retrograde and a little bit upwards so we don't fall into the ground. There we go. How do you get these? Oops, that was the engines. Okay, so I have no idea how you get them all back, but I do know how to filter them. So yeah, great. Let's see, 36 kilometers. Let's get a little bit closer. I want to land this somewhere over here and drive it over, because the engines doesn't have a way to destroy themselves. They don't have a self-destruct. Well, we can pretend that the Kerbals have a self-destruct in them, but having a self-destruct, you want to make sure your spacecraft is a long way away before you push the self-destruct button. So, looks like we are getting pretty close to our target. And I kind of want to kill some more lateral velocity. That would be great. So yeah, there we go. Starting to climb even. That's not necessary really. So yeah, let's just go for a landing from here. I think that's a nice spot. It's about 5 kilometers to drive, I think, or 9. Yeah, that looks good. Let's quick save to be on the safe side, because this is the tricky part. Because we decouple this and we activate these engines. But the tricky part is that the nav ball now doesn't work for the direction of travel. So I have to go like opposite of what it tells me to do. So that's a little confusing. But once you get this stable and slowed down to ground speed, it actually is kind of like flying a plane. I had great fun flying this around the moon earlier. So let's hope it all works the same now. It probably won't, since I'm recording. Nothing ever do. Really annoying. But yeah, that's how life is. Nothing works when you're showing off or going to prove to somebody how to do it or that you can do it. Yeah, that is really annoying, that you can never seem to be able to do things when people are watching or something, like hitting a basket in basketball or yeah, some weird thing. Everybody probably knows what I'm talking about. So yeah, let's just get this down, and we can use the ground to see what our delta V sideways it is. That's the most important, the sideways velocity, because the forward and backwards we can just roll on the tires. But yeah, approaching the ground. There should be scattering on. Oh yeah, I've updated. Sure, that turns scattering off. Have to turn that back on then. So yeah, slowing down the vertical velocity so we can use this to hover ourselves a bit closer, like away from this hill. We don't want to land too sideways. That makes the whole thing a little bit unstable. So yeah, we're starting to get down. Let's just tilt it this way, kill the sideways velocity, and straighten up, and let's stop. I said stop. Stop. Yeah, turning the lights on just for fun. No point really. And crossing fingers and touchdown. And yeah, the brakes are a little bit too powerful on this, unfortunately. So using a little bit of combination between driving and brakes. But yeah, we're on the ground. Let's quick save before we crash or do anything stupid. So let's decouple this and decouple this. And after that we can start going in reverse, just to get a little bit away from these. And since this whole thing is a little top heavy, we're going to lock steering on the back like a normal car. And we're going to disable the engines on this. So yeah, now it drives like a car, real car. And there we go. And it even drags. So yeah, let's go in the EVA mode. I promised that. So this is how the EVA mode. Ooh, driving a little bit too fast. Don't want to flip this thing on this hill. But yeah, this is how the EVA looks in this command module. And it's just great because you get this really nice view of everything going on around you. So yeah, this is how a rover should look, I think. So yeah, I think I'm going to drive over there off camera, and then I can come back on camera once I'm over there. So yeah, we drove the moon base over to its position right next to the flag, and we tested a new bed or sun. This can be their sunbathing spot, where our Kerbals will lie down in the sun and roast till they get this nice, well, I don't know what color Kerbals want to be. They're green, so maybe they want to be orange. I don't know, some different color. And testing the lights, they all worked, but we don't have any solar panels on this, so we don't want to waste all that power we got. So let's get the next craft down here. So we're back in orbit, and let's take and point this retrograde, and we can then land this next to the debris from the other vessel. Hopefully you can gather some of the debris next to each other and they can lie there until the Kerbals get the time to press the self-destruct button. So yeah, of course you always go the wrong direction, so going around and finding our retrograde marker. There it is, and we're cheating a bit because I don't have the patience to wait for it to stop. And let's burn retrograde until it's close to the ground, and let's see. I think this is probably going straight over, so we're gonna go for an orbit or about that. That looks about right. So yeah, this is just a smaller version of the last one, and hopefully it will work as fine, since the last one worked pretty well, I think. So yeah, approaching everything at pretty high velocity, but we're gonna wait a little bit longer. Just, yeah, physics work a little bit if we can. There we go. And 18 kilometers. Let's go for our stopping burn. Or retro burn, actually, not stopping burn. Suicide burn is, as it's called, if you go really close to the ground. There we go. Suicide burn of sorts. And yeah, the debris is not going to land next to each other. Actually, we're landing a lot closer to the other base, I think. Never mind. Less distance to travel, I guess. And killing velocity. That should be about it. Let's quick save this and get rid of that fuel tank. And let's just test out this. Oh, we don't have a lot of torque from this. So let's put on the RCS. We can control this. That would be great. Okay, so it's a little bit more uncontrollable than the last one. And it's spinning around and around in beautiful circles. Let's try that one more time and see if we can do it that time. So yeah, we're almost stopped, so let's decouple this and let's just get some distance away from there. Turn it around and hopefully we can stop it crashing into the ground this time. Oh, the engines are off-centered. So yeah, even though I really checked to see if the engines were centered, it looks like they are not. But hopefully we can slow the downwards velocity enough so we don't have to fly with more thrust than it actually can manage. No, of course, it didn't work. Oh man, something had to go astray, of course, every time. Let's see, we can point this retrograde and use the skipper engine to kill our downwards velocity, which is picking up at a great speed actually. This thing is falling like a rock. Yeah, that and push ourselves a little bit up should give us the time we need to put this slowly down on the ground. If we point it like this, we can just slowly all the way down, keep the speed down within the engine's capability of holding against the thrust. Oh, SAS unit, you were supposed to be on, man. There we go. Concentrating a bit more on the flying and a little bit less on the talking, and maybe it will work all fine. Maybe, I say. Probably not, it looks like. I don't understand because the weight to thrust ratio were pretty dead on, I think, when testing this. But yeah, let's just try to get it down. And that's a landing. That can definitely be called a landing, I think. So if we just can stop the roll, we can quick save this. Yay, quick save. And let's detach those engines, which did us nothing good. So I'm going to disable the steering in front, I think, because it's so light, I think it will just tumble over. And it wasn't that far away from the other debris actually. So once again, a new trip so I'll come back to you guys when I'm over there. So yeah, now we're just having docking of the 2 modules left, or the 1 module with the main compartment, and hopefully this will work a little bit better than the landing of this craft. So with the big docking ports, I found that you have to be a lot more precise than you did with the small ones, because the small ones could move about a little bit. But with the big ones there, you pretty much have to hit them dead on. But they can do a little bit of drag like this. So yeah, now our station is docked together and it's movable. So that's our first 2 module of our moon base. And in the next episode we are going to dock 1 here and 1 on the other side, and we are going to continue mining Kethane, because now we're pretty soon ready to start exploring space. I think in a couple of episodes we're going to send a probe to Duna to start looking for a nice landing spot for our exploration party. We'll also have to send down some crew and some driving equipment so they can get back and forth between the Kethane base, because they can't walk all the way all the time. That would take way too long. So I'm not going to land the fuel truck because it's pretty full of fuel, so we're going to dock it with the space station, and we're going to refuel it. We'll use it to refuel when we need it, and once we start shuttling fuel back to Kerbal so that we can do our deep space mission. But until then, have nice flights, guys. Fly safe. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Please follow me on Twitter or like or subscribe the video. See you guys later.